We can announce that now we are fully prepared for this assembly. We are ready, members of the media and people of South Africa. The organization has secured the venue, which is Johannesburg Expo Center here in Nasrec, and our conference today, it's at 12, we are registering, and it will run from tomorrow the 13th until the 15th on Sunday. The venue, it consists of the main plenary hall, where the reports are going to be presented, and then we've got the business lounge, we've got the media lounge. As you can see, this is your home from today up until Sunday when we're done. And then we've got 13 commission rooms, and our commissions are going to be in this format. We're going to have a commission on organizational character and redesign, land and agrarian reform, on gender struggles, media, communications and the battle of ideas, health and social development, education, Pan-Africanism and progressive internationalism, the economy, state capacity, justice, peace and security, sports, arts and culture, governance, and lastly, financing the revolution, because the revolution must be financed. These venues have been equipped with all the necessary equipment and ready to receive our delegates. Our media operations are ready and they're in place and functional, as we're all sitting here, and we can be the witness of that. The organization, we've received all the delegates from all the 9 provinces. They've arrived, they've registered, so we can tell you now that about 90% of the delegates, they have been registered. We're registering the few buses of the delegates around Soweto because they were relaxed to say, we're around here. So that is the last delegation. The CCT has been registered, PCTs, RCTs, all of them have registered. The buses, they're all safe and sound. No incident or accident that have been reported. We've been monitoring them throughout the whole night. So everyone is safe, and the delegates now are moving into their hotels where they're going to be accommodated for the rest of the conference. This demonstrates the testament of discipline, commitment, and organizational discipline that defines the EFF since inception. And we can tell you now that when we're saying there's no incident, including amongst delegates themselves, as they were traveling on those buses, even the incidents of misbehavior we don't have, we're sitting at 0. So there's no negative paparazzi that's going to take place. In terms of the program, this afternoon the CCT will convene its meeting where the credentials will be presented by the Credentials Committee led by the DSG and the Provincial Secretaries. This is a crucial step in ensuring the legitimacy and integrity of the Assembly. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we start with the official program, which will be led by the President and the Commander-in-Chief, who will deliver the political report. This will set the tone of the Assembly and outline our strategic priorities. Following the opening address by the Commander-in-Chief, we will then present and adopt the rules, guidelines and procedures to the National People's Assembly, and then we'll also present and adopt the credentials to the Assembly to kick away this NPA and to make sure that it's legitimate and it's correcting according to the guidelines and the Constitution. On Saturday, we'll commence with the presentation of the organizational report by the Secretary General. It's ready, it's 83,000 words, President. So it's a marathon. Yeah, that's how detailed we are. And after that, we'll have the Treasurer General who will present the report, state of the finances of the organization. Then immediately after that, we'll deal with the critical item, which will happen after lunch. This critical item will be convening of the National People's Assembly, the election of the top 6, and the additional members to the Central Command team. It will begin Saturday afternoon. This will be led by the Elections Committee, which it's an independent, it's not the EFF leadership, and that committee will be announced there when we are presenting the rules and the guidelines. And the elections process, the Elections Commission will be led by IMSA, which has been working with us for the longest time. In concurrence with the elections, the commissions will convene. As stated earlier, there are 13 commissions that will convene for this year's assembly, which the discussions is what we've outlined and we've released to the members of the media for the longest time. As a result of these engagement, proposals will be made, which will eventually become the resolutions that will solidify and define the program of action for the EFF for the next 5 years. And then lastly, it is important to note that amidst these crucial activities, commissions will periodically step out to engage with the members of the media to give the progress report on the discussions on various commissions. So those that have been given that responsibility to commissions during the course of the conference, they're going to be sitting and taking the media through on what is currently happening behind the commission rooms. And then on Sunday, the 15th, we'll receive the declaration and the acceptance speech on the newly elected CCT, and that closing address will be done by the newly elected president and the commander-in-chief of the EFF. That is where we are, members of the media and people of South Africa, and delegates and members of the EFF that are not here with us today. The NPA, the third NPA, is ready to sit. Everything is moving smoothly, including the authorities in terms of access to roads. All of them, they're in place. Everything has been signed off, including the venue and everything else. Thank you very much.